Peace, love, respect, Big King Sadiq. Not more, folks. A beautiful. We take a look at just the big trees. I love it. Hey, just like I love you all. Thank you all for continuing to help the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. And every day growing, spreading, and and highness on the planet, right? And continuing to spread love to all of us. Listen, the worldwide movement continues, and interesting point about something, well, this is focused on something that really needs to happen now, right? No more to it, and that is demand a cease technology gap. Often when we think of the haves and the have-nots, we think of it in economic terms, yes, but we tend to think of it in terms of luxury, right? Cars, clothes, houses, right? Fancy vacation spots. Think about the main implication of the haves and the have-nots, and that is the have-nots in the realm of technology. Folks, the technology between the have-nots is not a gulf, it's a chasm. The largest chasm that we can think of, it's greater than the Grand Canyon, right? Literally, I'm making it, but it's something that's been hampering the masses for long. Should we have these economic elite, the Marian complex, all these folks who have access to the ability to utilize technology that literally makes what most of us consider top of the line technology look like something out of the Stone Ages. Huh? Folks, you don't think that the chasm, right, between we have, when I say we, I refer to the quote unquote common everyday individual, if you don't think there is an incredible difference between what we utilize on a daily basis and what is actually being utilized on the planet by the few, right? Research. That's the amazing thing about all of this, right? Is that this stuff is not hidden. It's not precluded in any anymore, because we're in the information age. You have the ability to find these things out, and I suggest that you do so, because it will blow your mind, the technology that is out there, folks. And quite honestly, if we even spin this a little bit and just think about what has been kept from us, right? Folks, why do we know about all these incredible inventions of great minds like the likes of Nikola? I often refer to this gentleman because he really has made an impression on me, but he's certainly not the only one. So many inventions have been actually stolen by great minds and just taken credit. That happened particularly a lot in the geo-indigenous community, in particular in the indigenous community here in this country. A lot of black, quote unquote, black great minds developing great inventions and literally just got stolen away from them and given credit to someone else. But how about the fact that we know that there is this wealth of great inventions? I refer back to Nikola Tesla, and many of us are familiar with the story of how things transpired when he passed away, right? And had trunks filled with inventions and documents containing his research that would have given way, and he actually had proven some incredible advancements, inventions, and technologies that we could all and should, that we could all and should all be benefiting from right now. But a lot of that is not in line with the paradigm that the socioeconomic elite wanted to be in place. Folks, a lot of us have come up generation after generation with the way things are on this planet, and because it's just seems to always have been that way, we feel like it's the only way things could be, right? Like the part of the paradigm where we have to go and get our energy piecemeal through companies that make us pay exorbitant prices, right? If I pronounced that word correctly. Prices that are too high, right, for the average person. And there shouldn't be prices at all, because, folks, there's plenty of energy on the planet for all of us. None of us should be having to pay piecemeal for our energy. The same way there's a stranglehold on the internet, right? But even more so, because the internet would require some form of a provider, or at least the technologies that we could put in place where every home could be its own ISP, right? But more importantly is the energy aspect. There is so much energy available to us that we don't utilize, is not made readily available to the masses for free. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to harness it. We should all be able to pay for what is called one-time usage technology, right? You buy the box that, I'm simplifying this concept, but you buy a box that would enable you to harness some of the energy that is just circulated in between the area of the planet where the Schumann resonance is measured, right? Between the Earth's crust and the ionosphere. There's so much incredible energy in that field. We can be tapping into it all the time, and it's something that the Earth generates, right? Plenty of energy, not to mention solar energy, which we're starting to tap into more, right? Energy that we can be harnessing from the wind, right? From water, hydro generated energy. Man, there is so many different ways that we can all be tapping into energy. And like I said, all of the incredible technological advancements that we could be benefiting from, again, like Nikola Tesla's inventions, making available what's referred to as 0-point energy, right? He had technologies where we could essentially send energy to one another the same way we carry a Wi-Fi signal. I mean, there's so many different viable forms of technology, even beyond energy transfer. How about the engines that were stuck? There's no way in the world we should still be using combustion engines that run off of quote unquote fossil fuels, which they're not actually even fossil fuels, but I'll refer to that because that's what we commonly refer to the industry as. But my man Billy Carson, shout out to him, talked about how that's not a correct way of viewing where that comes from. That's actually essentially what you might refer to as the blood flow of the planet, right? But anyway, that's a whole nother video. The point is, we don't have to be running our vehicles off of these kind of engines, right? Even the electric engines, electric vehicles, right? The EV wave. That's good, except for the fact that all the accompanying components of those technologies that they are attaching to the use of that essentially are more harmful than good. Here's what I mean. So many of the EV vehicles emit what was referred to in enlightenment given to us by Dr. Delbert Blair about the quote-unquote ELF waves, the extra low frequency waves, right? Many of these e-vehicles emit that. What they do definitely have accompanied with that form of technology is the smart features, right? Remember what smart means: surveillance, monitoring, assessment, ratings, and tracking, right? Folks, this stuff is just out there. Don't take any of it from me. You can research these things easily and find out about this, right? But what I'm getting at is that there are other forms of technology that we could be using in terms of other propulsion systems we can be using in our everyday vehicles. There's so much technology that is sequestered from the masses, from the average public. It's ridiculous. And all of it would go such a long way in furthering the betterment in terms of quality of life for so many people on this planet, right? So many people on this planet. Like I said in previous videos, we have the wherewithal within our civilization, as we call it, right, on this planet right now, that no human being should not be born without free and abundant access to food, clothing, shelter, and energy. There is no reason why any human being on the planet should not be born with that, other than the paradigm we have been lulled into living in, where the socio-economic elite bleed us for these things and distribute them to us piecemeal. When I say they bleed us, they financially drain us and usurp us just to have access to the things that they have abundance to, right? And what's amazing is that they don't even have to, this is not a thing where they're saying, well, either we live abundantly and you know, and keep the paradigm the way it is, or we share these things and all of a sudden we have to live in the Stone Ages. No, everyone can live abundantly on this planet. Everyone. It is just a selfish, myopic mind state of the socio-economic elite and the paradigm where they've had so much control and power that they don't want to and refuse to let go of. But guess what? They ain't got no choice. Because for one, I've always said the way that they have maintained this paradigm, the biggest tool that they have utilized and maintaining this paradigm is control of the flow of information. Folks, we didn't know about all this before. but we do now. So it's time for change, huh? It's time for change. By the way, check out PLR New Paradigm, my album, right? There's a song on there, Concentrated Thought Change, right? Check that song out. Check the whole album out, please, if you would. PLR New Paradigm, Big King Sadiq. But no, really, folks, really on that, and really on the exclamation point it should be in our mind that we simply do not have to live this way. Our paradigm can be vastly different, seemingly overnight, if certain things would cease to be, like the gap in technology, right? We need that to go away immediately. Stop holding all of this information that is being held from the masses, information kept in the Vatican. You do not have the right to go around all the world sacking libraries for centuries and taking all the archaeological artifacts and findings from all these different places around the world and all these peoples who have been conquered, right, in this worldwide conquest, right, so that you could spread your religion and control across the planet, which is what has been done, and then continue to just house and keep all this stuff in the Vatican to yourselves when it belongs to the rest of the world. First of all, most of it was quite literally stolen. All right? Just like the things that are kept hidden in a secret by the Smithsonian Institute here in the United States. These things need to stop. Period. Things that belong to the masses, that belong to the people, should remain with the people. And if that happens, and if those things are added to the betterment of the quality of life of the average person walking, living, breathing on this planet today, what's wrong with that? Other than it is contrary to the paradigm that we have previously become so accustomed to. We do not have to continue to live this way, folks. The quality of life for the average person on this planet can be so much different, so much better, vastly different, if we stop this gap in technology, if we demand that it cease, this chasm in technology that the socio-economic elite enjoy, right? And all of their power structures across the planet, you know, where we see evident in the pharmacological industry, big pharma, as they like to say, and, you know, the military industrial complex, all of the technology that is sequestered and kept hidden. Man, we have to, as the masses of this planet, folks, we have to literally realize our power. You're talking about such a minute percentage of the planet controlling the planet and keeping all these things from the rest of us. That's quite literally what's happening. We could just boil it down to that. A very minute percentage of the population that we've allowed to be put in power, right, for far too long, is actively sequestering and keeping hidden and just restricting incredible technologies and advancements that could benefit us all and increase dramatically our quality of life. We have to demand that to come to an end. and for those things to be made available to the masses for the betterment of us all, right? That is what we all deserve. These things should be utilized that way. Folks, that is what a true civilization is, right? You mark a civilization by the quality of life of the people within that civilization, not by some small group or small percentage of that civilization living as lords over the rest of the civilization and sequestering these things, hiding these things, restricting these things from the masses. That's not what we need. That's not what we deserve. So let's say no and put an end to it now. How do we do that? Let's continue to speak up, to unify, and let's build this worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Let's awaken, Let's do all of the things that the socio-economic elite don't want us to do. Let's start to eat right so we can take better care of ourselves. Let's all go on our spiritual journeys in our own time, right? And support each other in that process so that we can awaken to a higher consciousness together, where we see that it's actually childish to even want to behave in this way. The socio-economic elite who run this planet do not realize how childish they are in terms of spiritual maturity. Folks, to even have the need, right? The selfish, myopic need to be over other people in that way is childish. It's not our highest self. It's not our best self in terms of what humanity can bring to the table. We're better than that. So let's start to take back our planet, right? And let's all operate and live in higher consciousness where that's not the paradigm, where all can benefit from the wonderful advancements and technological achievements of the great minds of this planet. Let's do that. Worldwide movement, Big King Sadiq. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. Let's really ramp up and build the subscriptions, right? And let's see the worldwide movement grow exponentially. True indeed. Big King Sadiq, I love you all. Worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. I'm out.